Welcome back to the deep dive. So if you've ever had to run a high-def video signal across, a huge space at campus, a stadium, you know the pain. It's that jungle of cables. Today, we're looking at a system that promises to fix that mess with, well, a single clean solution for long-distance 4K video.
We are. We're focusing on the Datavideo HBT-16. It's a 4K HDBaseT receiver box. And really, you can think of it as the endpoint. Its job is pretty simple. On the surface, it takes this bundled signal from a transmitter and just pulls out everything you need for a 4K display, up to 2160p quality.
Right. And our mission here is to really get into the tech that lets this little box handle, massive 4K bandwidth, control signals, even power, all through one cable. We're looking for that shortcut to making complex setups.
Simple. Okay, so let's start right there. That single cable. The technology is HDBaseT, and we're talking about one Cat7 or 6A cable. So what exactly is this receiver pulling out of that one wire?
Well, this is what's so fascinating. It's the consolidation. It's not just video. That one cable is carrying 5 critical things. You've got your video, up to 4K, of course.
You've got high-end audio, you have DVI-P control signals, even legacy stuff like RS-422 and 232, and maybe the biggest one of all, power. High wattage power over Ethernet, or PoE++.
5 services in one wire. That is efficiency. But how far can you actually push that 4K signal? Distance is always the killer.
It is. But here, it manages 2160p video up to 100 meters. That's provided you're using a good C6A cable, as recommended. And that means you can easily cover most large venues. And the format support is key, too. 2160p at 60, 59.94, and 50 frames per second. So it's flexible.
So the distance problem is solved. But then you usually have the power brick problem, right? If your source is 100 meters away, you have to run another wire just for power. How does the HBT-16 get around that?
This is where that PoE++ capability is just brilliant. So get this, when the receiver, the HBT-16, is plugged into its own 56-volt supply, it can actually push up to 65 watts of power back through that same Cat cable to the transmitter.
Wait, so it powers the transmitting device from the receiving end?
Exactly. You totally eliminate the need for a power supply at the remote end. It simplifies everything and cuts down on points of failure.
That is a huge win. Okay, so let's talk picture quality. Transmitting 4K that far.
Yeah.
How do you make sure you're not losing fidelity?
You really don't. The bandwidth is massive. We're talking a single link 600 megahertz, which is 18 gigabits per second. And what that means for you is support for formats like 4K at 60 frames with 4.4.4 color.
Right, 4.4.4. So you're getting precise, uncompressed color, no weird artifacts.
None. It's critical for broadcast graphics, things like that. It also supports HDMI deep color for better depth, and it handles HDCP 2.2 bypass, so no black screens with protected content.
We've got picture and power. What about audio? Are we talking pro-level surround sound?
Absolutely. It supports high-fidelity formats, Dolby True HD and DTS Master audio, so you're getting up to 7.1 channels of pristine, uncompressed audio right alongside the video.
Okay, last piece control. Let's say I need to manage or even reboot a camera that's a football field away. How did those control protocols help me?
That's your remote control layer. Simply put, those protocols, DVI-P, RS-422, let you send commands right down that same Cat cable. You can turn a device on or off, control a PTZ camera, whatever you need, right from the display location. And for setup, it even handles the EDD handshake automatically, learning what the display needs.
I also noticed the TAA compliance in the source material. What is that signal? Who is this for?
TAA compliance is a big deal for a certain market. It basically means the gear's made in the US or an approved country. For system integrators doing government or high-security institutional work, it's often a must-have. It puts it in that high-reliability professional category.
And speaking of reliability, it's built like a tank. Rugged aluminum housing designed for low heat so it can run for hours and hours.
So when you put it all together, what we have here is a workhorse. The Datavideo HBT-16 basically cleans up your entire setup. It's a durable solution that rolls up high-fidelity 4K, multi-protocol control, and power into one single, clean 100-meter cable run. Right. And if you think about the bigger picture, centralizing all that power, multiple control signals, 4K video onto one cable is just a massive leap in efficiency. It cuts down setup time, it cuts down on things that can go wrong. It just makes the complexity vanish.
Speaking of that, the source material notes it supports various frame rates, 60, 59.94, and 50. So here's something to think about. How does that flexibility influence design for international broadcasting? Where you have to deal with multiple standards like NTSC and PL derivatives. Is it really just plug and play across continents? Or does an integrator still need to worry about conversion somewhere down the line, something to chew on for your next cross-border system?